Hello students, welcome to Ayagriva Foundation YouTube channel. Students, in the previous class, that means in freedom movement lesson, we discussed it that how the Indian National Congress was established, who is the founder, and then what are the objectives it has. And you know that later on in the Indian National Congress, three groups were there, namely moderates, radicals, revolutionaries. In each and every group, in a different way, the freedom fighters fought against the British government in order to get freedom for our country. In this lesson, let us discuss about the era of Gandhi and national movements. That means, in the beginning, Indian National Congress belongs to only few people. That means membership belongs to only a few leaders. But when the Mahatma Gandhi ji entered into this organization, he made common people also to take membership in this organization. Hence, Indian National Congress turned into organization of common people. After that, Mahatma Gandhi ji, in the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi ji, Indian National Congress launched many movements like non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement and Quit India movement. All three movements were launched under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi ji. So this and all took place in between 1920 to 1947. Hence, this era is considered as Mahatma Gandhi ji's era or the era of Gandhi. Before going to national movements, let us discuss about the early life and growth of Mahatma Gandhi ji. Know that Mahatma Gandhi ji, the father of nation, his complete name is Mohanadas Karamchand Gandhi. His parents were Karamchand Gandhi and Putali Bai. As you all know that he was born on October 2nd, 1869 at the place of Porabandar in Kathiawad district in Gujarat. As he studied his primary education in Kathiawad district and later on for his higher education, means to complete his law education, he had been to England. There, 3 years course he completed and then he came back to India. In India itself, he continued his barrister service. Once, from South Africa, he got an opportunity to fight for a case for Dada Abdullah and Company. For Dada Abdullah and Company has handed over a case to him to solve their problem. As a result, in 1893, he visited to South Africa. Though he completed this case within 3 years also, he decided to stay back in South Africa because he has very well studied about the social and political condition of South Africa. Because in South Africa, 80% people were local people and 20% of the people belongs to Europeans. White people were there. But those 20% of the people were dominating over the black people, means local people. A lot of racial discrimination was going on. That means the discrimination between black and white are called as racial discrimination. This was experienced by Mahatma Gandhi ji also. He was beaten up when he was moving in a footpath. So that footpath was reserved only to the white people. As he was moving in that way, he was beaten up and he was thrown out from the moving train from a British officer also. Like this, many bitter experience he got in the South Africa. Then he decided that we have to keep a full stop for this. So for that, we have to fight against the British government. So because of this, he has chosen 3 moral weapons to fight against the British government. So which are those 3 moral weapons? Means first one is Satyagraha. That means assertion of truth. Then Ahimsa, non-violence. Fasting, Upasa Satyagraha. So these 3 things he used as a moral weapon. With the help of that, he fought against the British government in order to end the racial discrimination in South Africa. Whether he succeeded in that or not, that is secondary. But Mahatma Gandhi ji succeeded a lot by creating awareness among that 80% of the local people. When Mahatma Gandhi ji was about to return to India by the time, South Africans very proudly, they said to the Indians that you have sent to informed Gandhi to South Africa, but we are sending back a complete Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi ji came to India in the year of 1915. When he came to India, immediately he started Sabaramati Ashrama on the bank of river Sabaramati in Ahmedabad. In this ashrama, voluntarily many people came forward to give service to the poor people and sick people. Okay, and also the Sabaramati Ashrama, through this he started to create awareness among the people. Mahatma Gandhiji had strong belief that each and everyone must take part in the freedom movement. Then only it can be succeeded. Because of that, he started to create awareness among each and every community. When the Champaran movement started in the year of 1919, by that time Mahatma Gandhiji decided to support for those farmers. Why? Because these farmers were dominating by the English landlords. Those English landlords forced to the Indian farmers to cultivate only indigo crops. These indigo crops were using to color the white cloth. In the beginning, the farmers were getting profit, but later on what happened, as the supply increased, the British stopped to buy the indigo crops from the Indian farmers. As a result, they faced a lot of loss. Because of that, Champaran village people, farmers are there, they decided to launch a movement against the British government. For this movement, Mahatma Gandhiji supported. Not only supported, he succeeded to fulfill the demands of this Champaran movement farmers. Now, Mahatma Gandhiji not only in the Champaran movement, even in the movements of mill workers in Ahmedabad, they had a lot of problems. Even they also launched a movement against the British government. In that also he has taken part. And when the Kheda village people revolted against the government because of heavy tax, by that time also Mahatma Gandhiji supported for those people, and he made the British officers to fulfill their demands by using his three moral weapons, that is Satyagraha, Ahimsa and fasting. As the Indian National Congress members observed all these things, then they invited him to become a part of Indian National Congress. When Mahatma Gandhiji became the part of Indian National Congress, he allowed the common people to take part in the Indian National Congress and also provided membership for them. As a result, this Indian National Congress became the common people organization. This was Mahatma Gandhiji expecting. And also he published many periodicals like New India, then Harijan, like these newspapers he published. And also he published a periodical, that is Indian Opinion. That means he wanted to create awareness among the people about the Satyagraha, Ahimsa and fasting. He was knowing very well that we are going to launch some movements against the British government, and all those movements we are going to get success, in that we are going to success through this moral weapons only. Before that, he wanted to create awareness among the people about what is Satyagraha, what is Ahimsa, what is fasting, what are the importance of it, how we have to adapt that one in our life. So about that he wanted to create awareness. And also students, Mahatma Gandhiji had strong belief that without achieving the Hindu-Muslim unity, it is highly impossible to achieve freedom. As a result, he became the champion in achieving unity between Hindus and Muslims. Students, now we all came to know about the early life and growth of Mahatma Gandhiji. And next, national movements. Mahatma Gandhiji, under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhiji, Indian National Congress launched many movements. So for that movements, what are the reasons, what are the developments, and what are the impact of those movements? About that, let us discuss now. Students, as I told that, 3 national movements launched against the British government by Indian National Congress. In that very first one is non-cooperation movement. So this is the first and biggest movement launched against the British in India. For this movement, what are the reasons? About that, let us discuss now. Very first one is Khilafat movement. What is this Khilafat movement? When the World War was going on in Europe, it was going on between England team and the Germany team. With the Germany team, Turkey was there. In Turkey, caliphs were ruling. You know, caliphs means they are nothing but the successors of Prophet Muhammad. In 9th standard, you have learned that who are the caliphs? The successors of the Prophet Muhammad are called caliphs. England team defeated the Germany and its team members. In that, Turkey also won. After that, they dethroned the caliph's rule in Turkey and they established the democratic government. As caliphs had lost their power throughout the world, Muslims were there, no, they opposed this one. They decided to bring back the caliphs once again to the power in Turkey. As a result, throughout the country, protest started. Even in India also it was started. That is called as Khilafat movement. It's called as Khilafat movement, and this Khilafat movement launched in India by Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali. They are popularly known as Ali brothers, Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali. When this Ali brothers started Khilafat movement in India, for that Mahatma Gandhi ji decided to support for them, because he was knowing that in the future if he launch any movement against the British government, by the time their support also needed for us. And also he decided that this is the best opportunity to achieve the Hindu-Muslim unity. As a result, Gandhiji forced to the Indian National Congress members to support for the Khilafat movement. As a result, Khilafat movement became grand success in India. As Hindu-Muslim unity achieved, by seeing this one, the British government scared and they decided to suppress this movement. As a result, they introduced the Rowlatt Act. What is this Rowlatt Act? Rowlatt Act means if the British have suspected on anyone that is anti-British, without enquiring, they could have make him as imprisoned. As a result, what happened? The common people had lost their rights. They had lost their rights to assemble, to make the public meeting. Totally all kind of rights they had lost, and many innocent people were imprisoned because of Rowlatt Act. By implementing the Rowlatt Act, the British government suppressed the Khilafat movement. So after this Khilafat movement, one more incident also took place, so that is Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Why this Jallianwala Bagh massacre has taken place? For that reason is Rowlatt Act. As the British government implements such a cruel act to suppress the rights of the Indian citizens, Mahatma Gandhi ji decided to protest against this. In each and every state, he established the Satyagraha Sabha. This Satyagraha Sabha was established even in Punjab also. Mahatma Gandhi ji gave a call in the entire nation to make a hartal or procession against the British government on April 6, 1919. On that day, throughout the country, hartal was going on, even in Punjab also. On that day, the British officers arrested the Punjab leaders. They are Dr. Fakhruddin, Dr. Satyapal, like this many leaders were arrested. As these leaders were arrested, the Punjabi people, to protest against this, they assembled on April 13th, 1919 at the place of Jallianwala Bagh. You know, Jallianwala Bagh is a garden. It is located next to the Amritsar Golden Temple, and it was having a narrow passage for entry and exit, and it was completely surrounded by compound. As these people, nearly 20,000 of the people gathered on Baisakhi festival day, and these people very silently, very peacefully, they were protesting against the British government. As governor of the Punjab or governor of the Amritsar, he heard about this procession. Immediately he reached to that place along with 180 policemen, and without giving any cautions to them, just he ordered for the firing. And in this firing, many people were dead. Many people were dead, and many thousand of the people were injured. As Press Act was there, you know, Press Act means the British government, they got complete control over the media or press. Anti-British writing should not be published. So such kind of Press Act was there, no? By using that one, they published that only 380 people were dead like that. But many people were there, those who have seen that scene lively. Because of them, this news had spread throughout the country. And the British government, because the Indian National Congress have seen the another cruel face of the British government. And many dignitaries of Indians, one who received honors, medals from the British government, and that one they decided to give back, return to the British government. In that Rabindranath Tagore, one who received the Knighthood Award from the British government, he returned back. So further, this Jallianwala Bagh massacre or tragedy is, it has become main reason to launch the non-cooperation movement. Students, to launch the non-cooperation movement, Khilafat movement and Jallianwala Bagh massacre is, these two are the main reasons. Now let us discuss about the non-cooperation movement launched by Mahatma Gandhi ji. During this time, what are the programs were there, what are the developments have taken place, and then what are the results of the non-cooperation movement. About that, let us discuss now. Students, already we came to know that what were the reasons for non-cooperation movement, that is Khilafat movement, Rowlatt Act and Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Because of this brutal killing in Jallianwala Bagh massacre, the Indian National Congress members decided to teach a lesson to the British government. As a result, they gathered in the year of 1920 at the place of Calcutta, and they decided to make awareness about the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. As a result, the Indian National Congress members gathered at the place of Calcutta in 1920, and also they decided to create awareness among the people about the brutal killing in Jallianwala Bagh, and also to launch a movement against the British government, that is non-cooperation movement. So far, Indian National Congress had cooperated very well to the British government in all the way, but when they have seen the another phase, cruel phase of the British government, then they decided that we have to teach a lesson to the British government, and here onwards let us not to cooperate with anything. As a result, non-cooperation movement was started. It was led by Mahatma Gandhi ji. You know students, Mahatma Gandhi ji, when he launched the non-cooperation movement, he gave a call for all the Indians to take part in national movement, that is non-cooperation movement, and also he decided to make this movement through the violence. Okay, so here when the Indian National Congress launched the non-cooperation movement, by that time in the beginning many programs they made. According to this program only, let us run the non-cooperation movement. What is that? First one is boycotting schools, colleges and courts, because all three sectors, all three institutions were under the control of the British government. So because of that, they decided to boycott the schools, colleges and the courts. And then boycotting elections. In the year of 1919, the British government passed an act that is called as Montego-Chelmsford Act or Montego-Chelmsford Reforms. Okay, according to this, they plan to conduct the elections for the local legislative assembly. That elections let us boycott. Like that, Indian National Congress members decided, and boycotting foreign goods. So that is the main method, main weapon we can follow against the British government, because in this we have succeeded already. That is, when the radicals opposite the partition of Bengal, by the time they started the Swadeshi movement. They created awareness among the people to use only Swadeshi goods and to boycott the foreign goods. By the time they succeeded. As a result, the British government decided to withdraw the partition of Bengal. So in the non-cooperation movement also same thing, we utilize it. Then boycotting government functions. Before this, whichever the government functions take place, by the time Indian National Congress members or else the Indian citizens, they used to take part. Here onwards, they decided to boycott that one. And then returning honors. As the British government honored for many Indian dignitaries, all those medals, honors, let us give back to the British government. And then resigning the membership. So already in the year of 1909, some members were elected to the legislative local bodies, and for those membership we have to resign. So these are the plans or programs were made when the non-cooperation movement has taken place. And then when the non-cooperation movement started, by the time what are the developments took place? Have they followed these programs? Yes, they followed. The students are there, they supported for the Mahatma Gandhi ji and decided to boycott the schools and colleges. But for their future, education is very important. When the Indian National Congress members thought about this, then immediately by taking donation from the people, they established many national institutions, and through these national institutions, they started to provide education for them. And then here they said that boycotting courts. In courts, who will work mainly? Judges were belongs to Europe only. Then only the barristers or advocates are there. No? So among them, some of the Indians also were there. Among them, Motilal Nehru, Rajendra Prasad, C.R. Das, Chittaranjan Das. Like this, many Indian leaders were there. No? Those members were those members were the barristers, and this barrister position, it was getting a lot of profit to them. But also they supported for non-cooperation movement and left their practice and joined with the Mahatma Gandhi ji. Then Congress boycotted elections as they planned. That is the 1919 Act. According to the Montego-Chelmsford reforms, they decided to conduct the elections for local bodies. No, that one completely boycotted by the Indian National Congress. They decided not to take part, not to contest in that election. And then Rabindranath Tagore, one who received the Knighthood Award, so he returned back to the British government in order to oppose the Jallianwala Bagh tragedy. And people donated liberally. Here, Indian National Congress members, as it launched the non-cooperation movement, so moral support they got, but financial support also it was needed. So because of that, common people, including women, they donated liberally to the Indian National Congress, and also they boycotted the foreign goods. They started to use only Swadeshi goods. And Prince of Wales visit was, it was completely opposed by the Indian National Congress. And also, as Mahatma Gandhi's wish was, to achieve the Hindu-Muslim unity is, that one achieved temporarily. Like this, non-cooperation movement very successfully, according to its program, it carried on all its programs.
ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಬೆಲ್ ಐಕನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳ ನೋಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮೊದಲು ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಸಂದೇಹಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿಸಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ತರಗತಿಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ತಲುಪುವಂತೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ.